The topic I chose was minimum wage should be increased. Now, I apologize for my looks. I have been sick the past few days, so I look kind of out of it, and I apologize for that. But minimum wage is the least amount of money a person is allowed to be paid when working a job. Now, right now, it's set at $7.25 in Louisiana as well as many other states. But it hasn't been changed since 2009, which is a big problem. And not only since then has money become less valuable, but there are many jobs open now. And by this, I mean that when COVID hit, Biden gave money to people who sat at home and did not work. This action has made many people quit their minimum wage jobs and sit at home and live off of home care. And people do this because minimum wage pays the same amount as home care does. So if you're getting paid to work the same amount as you're getting paid to stay at home, you're just going to choose to stay at home. And that is a big problem in this economy. And lastly, raising the minimum wage would increase economic activity. This means that the poor now get more money, and it would be shared upon the lower class, leading to more jobs. Now, I would first like to reflect upon how information is how much money is being printed, which relates to how much the money is actually worth. If money is being made every day since 2009, then that means $1 then is not worth as much as $1 now. However, minimum wage does not correspond with this because it has stayed the same amount. According to the Procon organization, I think they said something about 8.1% of minimum wage has been lost due to inflation. The minimum wage law allows the lower wage workers to keep up with the price of rising goods and services. If goods and services raise in price due to inflation, but the minimum wage stays the same, then people relying on minimum wage won't be able to keep up with it, because if minimum wage stays the same over the past 15 years, but the price of goods have gone up, then they won't be able to keep up with it. And the second major problem is that people rely on government programs too much. So in an article, Babick is the author. He explains that when employers don't pay people enough to survive, those workers are compelled to seek government assistance. This means that people who don't want to work are not forced and just lay at home getting paid off doing nothing or anything they want. This is not only unfair to those working and helping America, but it also cripples the economy. And personally, I've seen this because I had to go work construction, and I showed up one morning and someone else showed up too, and they got really mad because they had to show up early and leave their kids. They were Mexican, and they had to leave their kids, and they got really mad at the system and how they had to get up early. And they said, you know what, screw this. And they left, and they applied for home care, and they got just about as much paid. And they, it was the exact same. They just didn't have to work, so they were with their kids all the time. And they got paid the exact amount. And this is really unfair to people who work, because they take time out of their day to make America better, and they get paid just as much as people who sit at home and do nothing. So that's another big problem. And as I've said before, many jobs would be filled, and more jobs would also become available through the rising of minimum wage. Based on a report from the Economic Policy Institute, if the minimum wage is increased to $10 by 2015, there would be a net increase of $32 billion. Not only that, but there would also be 140,000 more jobs available since then. And so not only does that create more jobs for many other people, but that creates a lot more net worth for America, and we're already in traumatic debt. So going on my next point, what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit around and hope the government will change their minds? Because we've been doing that since 2009. And it's a long needed change. And I feel like it's time to take action. No more children will starve. No more people will quit just to be fed off the government and not help the economy. This is America, and we have to earn our independence and freedom, and we have to work for what we get. We don't just sit around and feed off of the government and other people's work, and that's not how this works. If we want independence, we have to earn it, we have to achieve it, and we have to work for it. And so we need to make America proud and take action and stop causing economic havoc, because we've been doing that for a while, and we've been gaining debt since 2009. We are about $32 trillion in debt right now. The only way to make that up is to start working, being beneficial, each and every one of us, every single day of our lives, and that starts by increasing the minimum wage. If they increase the minimum wage, more jobs will be available, more people will become safer, more people will earn more money, more people want to work, and that will help in not only the benefit of individuals, but that will help in the benefit of America in general. So let us make America proud and take action and stop causing economic havoc.